Hey, Dr. Kevin Miller with EP True Chiropractic. I'm here to talk about heart health today. Very important topic on keeping the heart health. I've got a couple studies I'm going to go through. As a nation, we aren't doing very good when it comes to heart and cardiovascular disease and processes. So we need to be better. I'm going to give you some ideas on how to stay healthy, keep that heart healthier, and do it without drugs and surgery if possible. And let's get going. So our purpose today, the standard for natural health care where everyone is empowered to live to their full potential. That's always my goal. Is our bodies are designed to be 100% healthy. And man, if we just treat them right and take care of them, that they're going to take you a long ways without having disease processes, and especially heart stuff. You know, your heart's designed to live for many years, over 100 years, but you have to take care of it and treat it right throughout your life. And that's what I want to talk about today. The heart is incredible. All right, we have this fist-sized muscle right inside your chest. Not very big, but it produces so much energy and it pumps so much blood throughout your body. Gallons and gallons of blood every single day. It produces enough energy to lift 2 semi-truck trailers off the ground. That's a lot of energy that your heart's producing every single day. So if you exercise the heart, one, it's going to burn a lot of energy for you, which is great. But just think about the vessels that come out of your heart, the vessels that come into your heart from your lungs. And then it takes oxygenated blood throughout your body, and then deoxygenated blood to the lungs to oxygenate them again. And when you study that system, it's an amazing system, just like your whole body. The whole body's amazing, and how well we are designed. We are designed to be run at 100%, be perfect, but we just got to do our part. We got to do our part and take care of it. Unfortunately, though, here's where we got to get realistic. And the number one cause of death in the United States is heart disease. So this heart in there, the vessels that come out, they can get atherosclerotic, where basically the vessels start closing up, and then it creates high blood pressure. It can create heart attacks. It can create all chest pain, all kinds of different heart disease problems. And that's what we want to avoid. We want to avoid that, right? The history of heart disease. So I went through a study. I'm going to put these up here. I don't know if you'll be able to see them in the video, but the Journal of American College of Cardiology. So a good journal here. So it's looking at heart disease from the late 1990s to up to 2018. So we're looking at, they're measuring cardiometabolic health based on the fat in your blood. So triglycerides, your glucose, the lipids, which would be cholesterol, your blood pressure, and just to see where everybody's at. And it's a big study. 55,000 US adults was in this study. The results, do you guys want to hear this or not? This is, in my opinion, atrocious when it comes to where we are in 2018. Only 6.8% of adults had optimal cardiometabolic health. 6.8% of the millions of adults in the United States. And that's decreased from 1999 to 2000. So glucose levels were decreased. It was 60% where everybody had normal glucose. Now it's at 37%. So metabolic disease, blood sugar issues, diabetes, things like that. Adiposity, same thing with fat in your blood. 33% were normal, went down to 24%. So it's a scary situation out there right now. It's worsening. Cardiometabolic health has been poor and worsening. Again, only 6.8% of US adults have optimal cardiometabolic health. Wow. When you hear that, I hope you're in the 6.8%, but there's a chance if you're listening to this, you are not going to be in the 6.8%. All right. So the majority, the major majority of people are struggling with some sort of heart disease. All right. So what are we going to do about it? What is the plan to do? What changed? So first of all, that's only the last 25 years. 25 years. The diet. Let's look at diet. And that's changed a lot. Processed foods, fast food, just the quality of our food sources is decreased, and it's way down. It's bad. All right. So hydrogenated oils, high sugar content, sugar load. We talked about metabolic disease. So many different things in the diet, but basically carbohydrates and too much sugars. Bad fats, hydrogenated fats are another thing. Stress. Who's been stressed in the last 3 years? Stress going on. Everybody has been. And then toxins. There's toxins out there all over the place. And I like to have a clean environment. I definitely say I'm the guy. I pick up garbage, or if I'm outside and I'm walking, or if I'm walking, down the road, or see something in the ditch, like I want to pick it up. And my kids always make fun of me because I'm picking up trash and carrying it back to the house with us, because I like to have a clean environment. A clean water, clean air. Things to look nice and to be non-toxic. But unfortunately, there is toxins all over the place, and toxins in our food, in our environment, and that can make us sick too, and cause heart disease and other diseases also. So unless we do something about it, the future is not bright for heart disease. And I think we can. I'm always an optimist. I think we can. I'm going to go over another study, the forgotten lipids, the triglycerides. There, you can see that. Triglycerides, remnant cholesterol, and atherosclerotic cardiovascular risk disease. And this breaks down that it isn't cholesterol the problem, it's triglycerides is the problem. But let's start with cholesterol. What is cholesterol? So we know LDL and HDL, right? HDL is good, LDL is bad. Well, I disagree with that, because cholesterol is essential, and HDLs are essential, and LDLs are essential. They're all good. We need them. Think of cholesterol as like a bus. They pick up all of our vitamins and minerals, proteins, and they haul it around our blood, all around our body in the bloodstream, and then drop it off. They pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off. And we need to have those molecules, cholesterol molecules. Now I'm going to get in deep on, there's a lot more to the cholesterol story than just HDL and LDL. But that's kind of the basis of where everything has happened. And in this study, so it's from, oh man, they're good schools. I love this study because they were nonpartisan about anything. They weren't on the drug side, they weren't on the lifestyle side. They were just giving the facts on where we're at today. One of the researchers is from Emory University in Atlanta, Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Houston, Texas, Baylor College of Medicine, and Oregon Health and Science University. So well-rounded authors and scientists in this paper. And basically what they're saying is, we've been treating the cholesterol problem. They think it's a problem. The medical world has been a cholesterol problem for the last 30 years. And what did this other study just say in the Journal of Cardiology? It just said that we're getting worse. Only 6.8% of American adults are healthy, have cardiometabolic health. Well, if statins and cholesterol was the issue, and how many billions of dollars have been sold in statin drugs in the United States, making pharmaceutical companies billions, and it hasn't changed heart disease at all. It's actually gotten worse. So is that the answer? It isn't. It isn't. And that's what this isn't me talking. This is the researchers, the medical doctors that are saying we need to focus on something else. Something else is the issue. And they're saying it's the triglycerides. So I just want to read what they said about statins. So the introduction of statins 30 years ago proved the critical evidence linking substantial lowering LDL levels to substantial reductions in cardiovascular events. However, despite reductions in LDL levels with statins and new lipid-lowering agents, substantial risk persists, with the majority of predicted first and recurrent cardiovascular events not being averted. So basically what they're saying, we've been doing this for 30 years and they haven't been averted. We're still having heart disease problems. A growing amount of evidence suggests that triglycerides and or the cholesterol content within the triglyceride-rich lipoproteins, so they're oxidized triglycerides, may contribute to residual health. And the burgeoning epidemics of obesity, metabolic syndrome, and diabetes are associated with dramatic increase in the prevalence of cardiovascular incidents. So what do we talk about? What are the three things? High sugar content, metabolic syndrome. We decrease that down, that's gonna help. But I really want to get into the triglycerides and the triglyceride-rich lipoproteins. So basically, I'm going to give you an easy analogy, all right? And same with cholesterol. So all these things, you have exogenous, which when you eat, the fats are going to get broken down in your gut and then get in your bloodstream. So that's from the outside, exogenous. Endogenous is from the inside. That's what your liver makes, right? And liver makes your LDLs and your HDLs, and it also makes triglycerides. If you have a whole bunch of sugar in your body, tri is 3, glycerides are 3 sugar molecules that come together and they combine, and the liver produces a triglyceride, and it either can go to your muscle or it can go to your fat cell. And one or the other. If you're exercising and it can go directly to your fat cell, that's great. It's not going to go to storage in your fat cells. But what happens is now you have these triglycerides, the triglycerides like lipoproteins, LDLs, HDLs, floating around in your bloodstream. All right, I'm going to use an analogy. All right, easy analogies: beach balls, and then we're going to use golf balls. All right, so if you like golfing out there, so you're golfing 18, and every time you get to let's say the 8th green, the guy behind you, he always follows you. Your tee times are at the same time, and he hits into you every time. He hits that golf ball, and it hits you right in the middle of the back. You're up on the green, and he hits right into you 100 yards away. That's going to hurt, right? That's going to be painful. It's going to leave a bruise. It's going to activate your immune system because it's a damaged area. It hits you right in between your shoulder blades. But let's say you're in a swimming pool and the beach balls are flying around and somebody smacks you with this beach ball right on your back, from a foot away. Beach balls don't hurt. It's not going to cause any damage, right? And that's exactly what's happening in your bloodstream. Is if you have a bunch of those oxidized golf balls, which are the very low density lipoproteins, those triglyceride-rich lipoproteins, where they get oxidized down into really small compact molecules, and then they start hitting the blood vessels, the walls, the endothelium it's called. Starts hitting the endothelium. Pretty soon they're going to get lodged in there, and then what's that going to do? It's going to activate the immune system. So the immune system is going to bring these cells called the macrophages, and they kind of gobble that up, but they get stuck in the mesh in there. It's like if you hit a tennis ball, into a screen that has holes in it, it's going to get caught in there. So that it's going to start getting caught in there, and then the macrophages come and they just start swelling, and then it brings in a whole bunch of other immune system clotting factors, interleukin, tumor necrosis factor, and then it just starts scarring up that blood vessel. And that's continue that over a lifetime, it's going to cause problems. So you're out in the golf course and the guy behind you every single day, you have the same tee times, and he hits into you every single day. Well, he doesn't hit you every day in the back, but he keeps doing it. It happens every other day, every third day. He just keeps hitting into you and he hits you right in the back, right in the back, right in the back, same exact time. So are you going to keep letting him do that? Or are you going to go back and talk to him and say, hey, I want to quit hitting into me. Wait till the pin's in the hole before you hit into me. Solve the problem or just keep letting it happen. And that's what happened with our bodies is, we're putting on all these statin drugs, but nobody ever teaches us how to live a healthier life. The doctors don't. So that's where the problem's at. Like let's go solve the problem. Where's the origin of the problem versus letting it keep happening. So in this paper, it talks about percentages. I love this part of the study because it talks about, okay, interventions. How can we reduce this triglyceride number and all these lipoproteins, all these small golf balls in your bloodstream? How do you do it? So they go through different ones. They go through a pharmacological, so drugs, or lifestyle. And the percentages here, it's a no-brainer which one is going to work. So weight loss, if you lose, let's say 5 to 10% of your initial body weight, you weigh 200 pounds, you lose 10%, now you're down to 180. That's going to decrease your levels by 25%. That's a good thing, 25%. Let's reduce that down. Dietary modifications. Let's say we just reduce your carbohydrate load by 50%. That's going to reduce down 10 to 15% reduction in those golf balls. Exercise. We do 4 mornings of walking and 2 mornings of weights. Lift it, and it doesn't have to be huge weights, just something to put stress on your body. That's going to reduce it 25%. So let's add those up. 25%, 10 to 15%. So let's say 10%, that's 35 plus another 25, that's 60% right there that you can reduce your risk of having those bad small golf balls in your bloodstream, causing damage, hitting the side of your vessels into the endothelium, 65% by changing, modifying your lifestyle. Pretty good things, huh? That's not with adding any supplements, anything else, just changing the way you eat, exercising, and losing weight. But now let's add in niacin, B vitamin, let's just say a B complex, a good B complex, and then omega-3 fatty acids. Niacin alone, if we add in all the other B complex, it's probably higher than this, but it's 30% will reduce your risk of having those injuries to your blood vessels. And then omega-3 fatty acids, 2 to 4 grams per day, is 30 to 50%. So now we do 3 lifestyle modifications plus two supplements, B complex and omega-3 fatty acids, and it's over 100% what your reduction or risk is going to be. That sounds like a pretty good percentage on what you can do. But now let's go to the pharmacy side, the drug side. So if you do statins do lower cholesterol. Absolutely, they will. And it says dose-dependent reductions, 22 to 45%. So, okay, 22 to 45%, it's going to reduce those lipoproteins. Over 30 years, what do we find out? It hasn't done anything to make us healthier. and to reduce cardiovascular risk, but it's going to reduce those smaller, it's going to reduce your LDLs and HDLs. And then another category is of medications called fibrates, and that was 30 to 50%. So you can roll the dice on your drugs and not change anything in your life, and you have a 22 to 45% reduction or a 30 to 50% reduction. And really what we already know, that it really isn't a reduction. It's just lowering your blood chemistry, but it's still causing cardiovascular events. It's not changing anything. So what's the best thing to do? Your lifestyle. To me, it sounds like exactly like the 5 essentials: nutrition, exercise, nervous system, detoxification, and then mindset up here, handling stress better. Stress, that's a whole other topic on stress hormones, and I'm not going to get into that today. But man, those things right there can make a huge difference in your lifestyle and decrease the prevalence of heart disease in your body. Did you know cholesterol can be good? It is good. It is essential for your body. All your hormones are made of cholesterol. Your cell walls have cholesterol in them. It actually lets things in and out of your cells. Cholesterol is good. We just want to have the right ratios and the fat ratios. All right. Later I'm going to talk about omega-3s and just some indicators that you can have on how to know if you have any heart disease that's going on, and it's not your regular blood work. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. Reasons for high LDL cholesterol. Look at the standard American diet right there. Hamburger, French fries, and it's like I said, it's the oxidation of those oils is one of the big reasons. When it gets into your body, those exogenous ones, the outside, so your gut has to break them down to get them absorbed into your bloodstream, and once those oils get in there and they get oxidized, that's what breaks down into those like lipoproteins in your bloodstream, those golf ball like sharp or hard objects that when they're hitting the side of the wall, your blood vessels are going to create an immune response. And then that immune cascade, it's going to come heal it. If I cut my arm open, it's going to bring a whole bunch of blood there and a whole bunch of healing things to start healing it. Well, the same thing happens inside in that vessel, in that gelatinous matrix. And the vessels, if they're always inflamed, they just start closing in. And eventually that's what's going to cause the vessels to close in. High blood pressure is another one. So then the vessels close in, the heart has got to pump more blood to get out to your body because there's not as much space. There's not as much elasticity in that vessel. Instead of, when you're exercising, it's going to go like this, and then at state of rest, it's going to be down here. There's no elasticity, so it just gets smaller and smaller. So the blood has to have more effort to push that blood through those vessels because there's no elasticity in it. And just think about this. So we talked earlier about the design of the human body. Okay, it is amazing, right? So instead of when you have those golf balls hitting your blood vessels, the endothelium, instead of blowing a hole in it, what your body do, it traps it, and it brings in immune cells to start healing it. But what if it blew a hole in it right away? Then you'd have a hole in your vessel, and the outcome would be worse than what it is. So it's actually extending your life because it's healing your insides so well, but eventually it's going to put so much stress on your heart. So really it's extending your life and not blowing a hole right in that vessel. And it goes back to the design of the human body. If you treat that correctly, man, it's just going to do the right things for you. Even in a disease state, it's still doing the right thing. Even when your vessel's closing down, instead of putting a hole in your vessel, it's healing it. At the same time, you're damaging it. So it all goes back to you. What's the solution? You're the solution. It's you, nobody else. You have the power to change your lifestyle, your decisions. And if you do that, body can do amazing things. What's the solution? 5 essentials, like I just talked about. Simple. It really is. Health is simple, but you got to work at it. It's simple, but it's not easy. That is for sure. It is not easy. You have to put a lot of time and effort into it. You have to make sure that you're getting your exercise in every day. Schedule it out. You have to be eating well. You can't be eating, McDonald's, Red Bulls and drinking Red Bulls and Monsters and Mountain Dew and having all this sugar in your body and expect your body to be healthy. All right. So let's go through some different things that you can do. Heart health, nutrition, obviously, good fats, good healthy fats in your system, raw nuts, seeds, berries are very good for those complex sugars. Vegetables are very good for those complex sugars, give you fiber, give you good vitamins and minerals. I'm not going to give you a certain diet plan that you should or should not do. The longer I practice, the more I know that everybody's different. Some people can do, a meat-based diet. Some people can do a vegan-based diet and be good. But I think somewhere in the middle is where most people lie. Eating a well-balanced meal, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, healthy meats, good source meats, beef, fish, chicken, turkey, whatever that meat is. Make sure it's sourced and it's healthy meat. And then nuts and seeds. And if you stick to that, that's a pretty good diet. But if you're eating out every day and fast food, that is not going to be a good diet, not going to be good outcomes for you. So from low fat to low carb, during that statin time, when they started giving statins, what happened is because they said, let's go low fat, no fat at all. Let's take all that out of the food. Let's process all the fat out, but we're going to add in high carbohydrates, high sugar. And what happened? All these metabolic diseases. People got sicker, heart disease, diabetes, everything got worse. And that's where we're at right now, is we got worse. And I believe it was because of what we got taught. And the 4 food groups and all that stuff. It's not. You should have high fat. You need fat in your diet, but it's got to be a good fat, good protein, and then a moderate amount of carbohydrates. And some people, I would say, if you're in a disease state, get rid of the carbohydrates altogether and just go good fat and proteins. So, I mean, if you're balanced, I think that's the key. Depending on what you have going on, that's where what I'm going to go through here in a minute. We can dial that in a little bit more. I talked about omega-3 fatty acids before. Just doing that alone, 2 to 4 grams. How much that made a difference in the 2 to 4 grams of omega-3 fatty acids decreased 30 to 50% of the bad fats, those triglycerides and triglyceride-like lipoproteins, those small baseball things, oxidized baseball and golf ball, those hard molecules going throughout your bloodstream. So omega-3 fatty acids, superfoods, consuming fish twice per week can result in 30% reduction of coronary heart disease. I am not a huge fish fan, so I take a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. One, because my testing said so, but I don't consume a lot of fish, so taking fatty acids is very, very good. A couple supplements here on Cardiovascular Wellness Bundle. If you are on a statin, CoQ10 is an essential nutrient that you must supplement because it's a nutrient that your heart uses to make energy and to function. Lipoic acid is an a very good, what do you call it? Helps get antioxidant. That's what it is. Antioxidant helps get those bad cells out of your body. So you add those two in, very good for your heart. And then curcumin is an anti-inflammatory. So those vessels that, remember I talked about, that are always inflamed, if you're coming out of that, and if you're trying to change your diet, I get it. You can't just, it's hard to go cold turkey on what you've been doing for years, but this is a good thing to supplement in. That's going to help reduce the inflammation in the vessel walls, so they don't get atherosclerotic, they don't get scarred up. So those two things. Now, if we want to do the cholesterol balance bundle, we use the curcumin, and then we're going to add red yeast rice in there also with the CoQ10. Red yeast rice helps decrease LDL levels, make it more balanced. And the CoQ10, like I talked about, the heart needs that nutrient for energy and to function correctly. And then plant sterols, actually, when you're eating fat, it slows the digestion of them into your bloodstream and can break them down so they're not in that small, keeps them in the big form, non-damaging form. So that's what the plant sterols do. And then the high blood pressure bundle, so NOx, nitric oxide support, that is very good. A lot of the berries have those, fruits and vegetables have the nitric oxide in it. Arginine and citrulline are two amino acids that help with expansion of the blood vessels so that smooth muscle relaxes. And then the blood pressure support is going to help reduce that blood pressure down. So a high blood pressure bundle. And again, that's not even the two basic ones, a B vitamin. So those are more advanced right there. Just basic entry level nutrients, a B complex, and the omega-3 fatty acids. That's one thing I think probably everybody should be on, is an omega-3 fatty acid. Very, very important. This slide, lifestyle risk questionnaire. So this is what we do for our patients in our office. So if you are a patient, you may have seen this or may have filled out one. If you're watching this and have no idea what this is, we're going to give you an opportunity to fill this out and send it in. And then you can meet with Melissa, our nutrition specialist, to start the process of understanding where you're at in your health, what the steps that need to be taken, and where we need to go. Because like I said, the longer I practice, I've been practicing over 20 years, everybody's different. Nobody is exactly the same. So we have to treat everybody. Everybody has their own case, has their own health risks and question it, so we have to treat everybody different. This is a great way to start. We can get this to you. We'll go through that at the end, how to get this lifestyle risk questionnaire to you, and then fill it out and then get it back to us. Now, this one, so I talked about how to find out what your risks are. There's two different things. At the top here, it says Omega Quant. And then on the bottom, it says functional imbalance scores. So there's different steps like that. The LRQ, the questionnaire, starts that process. And maybe some people, the step one is we need to get rid of the sugars and get rid of the 6-pack of Monster every day. Some of you may want to take another step and know what those omega-3 fatty acid ratios are, or your fats. Remember, we talked about cholesterol, the VLDLs, those lipoproteins, and the omega-3 fatty acids. So what the omega-3 fatty acids does is breaks those fats down into categories. It's a really good score to see if you have any risk or not for heart disease. And then what we need to do how much omega-3s that we need to get in your body to make it better. So that's the top one right there. Now that's a more introductory level, not when you're talking expense. This isn't going to be covered by insurance. Insurance doesn't do these tests. They do a CBC. They look at your HDLs and LDLs instead of digging into what your actual fatty acid ratios are. All right, so that's the top one. Then now the more in-depth one that we're going to find out your omega balance and balance. Right in the middle, it says need for inflammation support. Omegas are very good for inflammation. So it's going to tell us all those ratios, but this is going to give us information all about yourself that, we're going to find out a lot about you, because it's going to give us antioxidant support, mitochondrial support, which is energy. There's your inflammation, omega balance, toxic exposure. Are you exposed to toxins every day? And then the need for methylation, which is how you detoxify and how your cells like copy one another. So what are the cells that die and rebuilding? Are they crisp and good copies of each other, or bad copies? So that is the more in-depth one. That's gonna, if you want to know exactly what your body's doing, that is the test that you do. It's a metabolics test, and I love that one because it tells you what your body needs. For me personally, my omega, why I take a lot of omegas is because the inflammation one was way up, and the oxidative stress. So those two are my two columns that were bad, that I need a lot of help with. So I take antioxidant support and inflammation support. So a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. Just me personally, again, somebody could be very toxic, somebody could need a lot of methylation support, or more energy, those B vitamins. My energy, mitochondrial support was at 0. So I get a lot of energy. For some reason, my energy systems work really well. But like I said, the inflammation and oxidative stress do not work very well. We'll have more information on those, but that is a more expensive test. And again, insurance does not cover that. But is it worth the investment? If you have the means, it is worth the investment to know exactly what your cells are doing. It gets to the cause of the problem instead of just treating the symptom. We're going to find out what's going on. So exercise. What did we talk about? Exercise reduce those plasma triglyceride levels by 25%. I think it's pretty important. It is an essential that you must move your body every single day. Not only does it reduce those bad fats in your system, but it helps with hormones, human growth hormone, testosterone. It's just, there's nothing bad about moving your body and getting exercise. So whether it's walking, whether it's CrossFit, whether it's swimming, biking, running, there's so many different ways to dancing, so many different ways to exercise. You just got to find one that you love doing. Even if you don't love doing it, you still have to exercise every single day. That is an essential that you should never stop doing. Could reduce cardiovascular disease risk by 48 to 57%. It does. And then you add in good nutrition, lose weight, add in a couple simple nutrient supplements like that, man, your body can function really well. Mindset. So this is the big one. Are you going to draw the line in the sand, and make the decision to make your change in your lifestyle or not. It really comes down to that. Are you going to decide I want to do the pharmaceutical route and not change anything, or do I want to change my lifestyle and make it happen? Now, are there times where yes, you got to do both, and we maybe got to work off getting off some of the drugs. I'm not ever saying stop anything cold turkey. Talk to a professional so that you can get help, so you can get off those drugs or whatever your goals are. But it can happen. You just need to have the mindset. Okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want my life to go? What's the next step? With getting healthy and getting my heart healthy. So mindset is huge. Stress, like I talked about earlier, stress. If you do have a bunch of stress, there's a pathway, hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal gland, up into the thyroid gland. When you have high stress, it's going to create high blood pressure, heart disease. There's no doubt about that. And it's funny when there's people that come in with high blood pressure, especially they haven't had it, and then all of a sudden they get it. And I was asked, what was it? What caused the high blood pressure? And the patient always knows. They know. Change at work. They got financial issues, relationship issues. Somebody died. So whatever, something happened in their life to cause that stress to go up and the blood pressure to go up. Now, are there chronic blood pressure issues out there? Absolutely. I'm not saying that there's never just some people are going to have high blood pressure that familial or in the genetics, but there are a high percentage of them that are just from stress. And when the stress leaves, or you handle it better, as blood pressure is always taught by the medical docs that you have to stay on blood pressure medicine for a lifetime. And I disagree with that. You do not have to. And that's my opinion, that it can get off. Now, if your blood pressure doesn't come down, yes, then you need to stay on it. But if you do the right things, like we talked about, it can come down and stay down. And then minimizing toxins. Again, I talked about toxins. Toxins are out there in the world. It starts in our food. There's toxic if you don't have clean food. It starts in our food systems, in our environment. Could be in your yard. You're spraying, glyphosate is a big one. It is all over the world and it's a known toxin. They have been had to pay out millions in lawsuits because it's caused cancer. I mean, that is a known fact, but keep using it. It's like, why don't we get rid of some of clean up our environment, get rid of some of the toxic stuff around. It could be in your house, mold. There's a lot of different toxin things out there. Smoking is one, tobacco, bisphenol A, a lot of the plastics. Whatever you do, don't heat up plastic in the microwave and then eat out of it. That's a huge one. Some simple thing that you can get rid of. And then this PFOA, another known toxic that's in a lot of products. And then this one right here, core chiropractic, the nervous system. And I would say this is how much the nervous system it plays in everything. It controls every organ in your body. Brain controls everything. Everything's flowing down. Flows down that spinal cord. If you look at my back here, it flows down that spinal cord, and then it goes out to every cell, tissue, organ, everything in your body. One thing it goes out to is your heart and all your vessels. It controls everything in your body. So the two major areas, so vagus nerve is your parasympathetic system, and then T1 to T4 right here in your upper back. The first four thoracic vertebrae are your sympathetic function to your heart and lungs. So to your heart, those two areas. And I even say, don't do anything else. Don't get on supplements. Don't get those tests until you know your nervous system is improving and getting better. Because if you're stressed out every day and you've had a major stress incident going on, and everything is so tight and there's pressure on that's T1 to T4, that sympathetic function, it's your heart's always going to be like this. If we don't get some parasympathetic stimulation from your upper neck down to your heart, it's never going to change no matter what you do. Whether it's organic diet, all the supplements that you want, all the testing, you have to get the structural function fixed first. That's my opinion. It's fact that you have to fix the nervous system, so that the signals are going to your organs correctly before all that other stuff is going to work. Now, will everything else help? Absolutely. But it's not going to be 100% effective until that nervous system is functioning at a higher level. And that's what getting adjusted, getting chiropractic is. So, heart health, adjusting C1, Atlas, blood pressure was lowered by 17 points. This was a great one done by University of Chicago. Just adjusting right here. Boom. Adjustments. Took 2 groups, and adjustment group, placebo group. Guess which one was lowered? The adjustment group. And I've seen this in the office. I'll take blood pressure before an adjustment and after, drop 10 to 30 points, just within minutes, because of the adjustment. So I know it works. I've seen it. That's why you have to get the structure, that nervous system, corrected before everything else works. Can improve lung function, automatic functions, heart rate variability. So it just helps calm that heart down, and it lowers inflammation, part of your immune system. Good stuff there. Warning signs that can happen. Obviously, if you're having heart warning signs, high blood pressure, chest pain, things like that. But also when your body's giving you signals that there's problems with the nervous system, headaches, if you get pain, right? What's the most common motivator to come in and get chiropractic care or go to the doctor is some sort of pain. That's your body telling you, let's not take a pill to cover it up. Sciatic nerve is specific pain down in your lower back and down your butt. Dizziness, allergies, asthma. Those are your immune system is acting up. It's acting up and in crisis mode all the time. What controls your immune system? Neuroimmunology, your nervous system. So neuro, think of nervous system all the time. Neuro, hormone imbalance, fatigue. You just sleep all night and you still get up and you're tired. Diarrhea, constipation. If you have gut issues, we see this a lot in kids. Getting constipated. Babies especially get that bowel moving. High blood pressure, high blood sugar, skin issues. And these are just a few of the warning signs. That's why we send out that LRIQ to help you, get to the testing that you need, or get to the supplements that you need. So number one, make your appointment. If you have not made an appointment, if you're listening, to this and you have not been under chiropractic care, you need to get under chiropractic care. If you're local, we'd love to have you in our office, but if you're not local, if you're watching this somewhere else, contact us. We can get you with a chiropractor in your area. We have a big network around the country, so we can help you do that, to make your appointment in your office. So your action steps. Number one, if you're getting adjusted, great. Keep getting adjusted. Keep that nervous system healthy. But if you're not, that's number one. Before you do anything else, we need to get that nervous system checked and get under chiropractic care. Number two, there's support supplements that we went through. The first two, before even the ones on the slides, omegas and a B complex. Those first two, and then you can get into the cholesterol and blood pressure specific supplements. 3, get those omegas tested, that omega quant test that was on top of the page there. Number 4, get your full nutrient, genetic panel, and toxicity panel. That was the one on the bottom of the page that had the several columns. That is going to give you a comprehensive plan on what you need to do. And that's not only supplements, but also what food you need to get rid of, what you need to stop drinking, what you need to stop putting in your body, what toxicities are out there, where are you exposed to platinum or mercury or whatever that toxicity is. It'll be able to find it, and so we can help you get rid of that. So those are your first steps. Get under chiropractic care. Support supplements. Get your testing done. Don't guess. Get tested. Get your omegas tested, and then the full nutrient panel, toxicity panel, and genetic panel. All right, so right here, schedule an appointment if you are local and need to get in. If you're even not local, we can get you checked out at our office and then get you somewhere, local, so you can get your care. Complete that lifestyle risk questionnaire. Text keyword LRQ to our phone number 309-3791 for the link. You can text or you can scan this QR code. Once the LRQ is complete, we will contact you to schedule a 15-minute consultation to determine your next action steps. And then the last one, you got to mindset, believe you can heal. You can do anything you put your mind to. If this believes it, man, you're powerful. You can do anything. Then connect with us on our social media, EP Chiropractic. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Me personally, I have a Kevin Miller professional page and then personal page. That one is full, but get on the professional page on Instagram or Facebook. All right. Well, I hope that brings you some insight to heart disease and motivation to help you to get out of that majority of people that aren't in that cardiometabolic healthy range, the 6.8%. I hope you are in that range, but chances are that you aren't. So let's go out and do something about it. Let's get after it. Stay on the right path with your health. Don't let the stresses get a hold of you and take you down that wrong path, because I get it. Life is stressful, and it's easy. It's easy to get off the wrong path, whether it's, going out with friends and, a night out on the town, drinking, or bad food, going out to eat all the time. There's a lot of stuff out there, not enough sleep, working too much. A lot of different things can happen, but it's worth it to stay healthy. All right. It is worth it to be healthy, not to have heart issues. Because the last thing we want to do is lose more people to heart issues. So let's prevent. And we'll see you at the next seminar.